All right, thank you guys. Welcome to our NHL video here today for Tuesday, March 16th. I actually believe it's Stone Cold Steve Austin Day. I forgot about that earlier. Austin 316 Day. But anyway, if you're new here, I just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my channel. My name is Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. If you want to find out how many of these picks are also being featured on my premium content, you may want to think about checking me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But with that, guys, we're going to dive into a pretty good matchup here to start the show. I'm talking about the Bruins taking on the Penguins, 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop in the Steel City. The Pittsburgh Penguins are the $1.20 favorite on the money line. Totals 5.5 flat. Now the Bruins are catching even money for some money line cash, and they're also minus 260 catching the goal and a half on the puck line. Daniel Vlader is projected as the goaltender here for the Bruins this evening. Casey DeSmith expected between the pipes for the Penguins. Now we're 7-1 in our last 8 extra daily pick tier package plays on my Patreon page. And if you want to access today's extra daily pick, it's only going to cost you just $2.99. We also improved to 19-2 in our last 21 extra daily picks in that very same tier membership. And if you want to join the 1,325 members who are currently signed up and active on that page, link for that site is in the description section below. Once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, the Penguins have been playing some really good puck lately. They're on a 6-game winning streak, 12-2 straight up on their home ice this season. The Pens are currently in the top 3 in home scoring. And they're led by Crosby and Gensel, who each have 11 goals apiece. Now they're taking on a Boston team who lost 7 out of their last 10 themselves. And they also find themselves a miserable 2-13 in their last 15 puck line plays on the road. Now the Bruins are in the bottom 5 in road scoring, and they average just 2.2 goals per contest when they travel. Now, total-wise, 7 out of Boston's last 8 contests stayed under the total of 5.5 goals. They're also 60% to the under when they travel. The Penguins also saw their last 2 straight stay under the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Pittsburgh Penguins, minus $1.20, and the under 5.5. Next matchup, it is going to be Sabres, Devils, 7 o'clock Eastern, puck drop in Newark. Certainly not a clash of the Titans here, but regardless, the Devils are the $1.75 favorite. Numbers 5.5, slightly juiced to the over. Mackenzie Blackwood's the projected netminder for the Devils. Jonas Johansson for the Sabres. But I'll tell you this much, as absolutely putrid as Buffalo's been this season, just keep in mind they've gone 6-3-1 in their last 10 meetings with Jersey, and they're also in the top half of the NHL in defensive shots on goal on the road. Now, 6 out of Buffalo's 9 puck line cashes this season did come on the road as well. They're also in the top 10 in defense. They're in the top 10 defensively in first period goals allowed. Really, I slammed home that point there. Wow, great commentary here. But anyway, Sam Reinhart. He's currently leading the club with 11 goals along with 8 assists. Now, total-wise, 6 out of Buffalo's last 7 outings did get over the total of 5.5 goals. They're also 8-5 to the over when they travel. Meanwhile, the Devils saw 4 out of their last 7 get over the 5.5 themselves. 6-4 to the over in their last 10 meetings with Buffalo. I'm going to lean toward the Buffalo Sabres plus 1.5 and the over 5.5 goals. You know, sometimes I come here on this video and I can't get any words out. It's really frustrating. But anyway, next matchup, Islanders Capitals, 7 p.m. Eastern start time. New York Islanders are the slight $1.15 favorite on the road. Numbers 5.5 flat. Semyon Varlamov expected for the Islanders. Ilya Samsonov for the Caps. Now, as good as New York's been, well, Washington has been equally as dominant lately. They're 5-0 in their last 5, 9-1 straight up in their last 10. And the Caps are in the top 3 in the NHL in scoring, and they're led by Ovechkin and Backstrom, who each have 11 goals apiece. Now, Now they're taking on an Islander team who, for how dominant they've been at home, they've actually been somewhat lackluster when they travel. Now the Islanders have been victorious in just 7 of 15 when traveling, and they cashed in on the puck line in just 7 of those road games. New York's also struggling to put the puck in the net on the road as well. They're averaging just 2.2 goals per contest as the away team. They're in the bottom 3 in the NHL in that category. Now, total-wise, oddly enough, 4 out of New York's last 7 contests did get over the total of 5.5 goals. They also saw 6 out of their last 9 meetings with Washington get over the posted total as well. Meanwhile, the Capitals are 9-4 to the over in their games at home, 18-10 to the over for the entire season. I'm going to lean toward the underdog Washington Capitals minus 105 and the over 5.5. Next contest, it is going to be Canes Red Wings, 7:30 East. The Carolina Hurricanes are the $2.35 favorite on the road. Totals 5.5 juice to the over. James Reimer for the Canes, John Bernier for Detroit. The Red Wings have lost 5 out of their last 6 contests, and they've been victorious in just 5 of 15 home games. Matter of fact, out of Detroit's 29 total contests on the entire season, they've gotten the... why can't I talk right now? Out of Detroit's 29 total contests on the entire season, they've gotten the W just 8 times. Detroit's in the bottom 3 in offensive shots on goal at home. They average just 2.2 goals per contest. They're taking on a Carolina squad who's 10-5 straight up when they travel. And they currently find themselves in the middle of an 8-game winning streak. Vincent Trocheck leads the club with 13 goals, along with 24 total points. Meanwhile, Nino Niederreiter has a dozen goals himself, and he's a plus 11. Carolina's in the top 5 in the NHL in scoring, top 10 in offensive shots on goal. Now, total-wise, 4 out of Carolina's last 6 contests did get over the total of 5.5 goals, 60% to the over this season when they travel. Meanwhile, the Red Wings also saw 6 out of their last 8 get over the 5.5 themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Carolina Hurricanes minus 1.5 and the over 5.5 goals. Next matchup, Coyotes Wild, 8 o'clock Eastern start time. The Minnesota Wild are minus 210, numbers 5.5 juice to the under. Kaapo Kähkönen for Minnesota, Antti Ranta for Arizona. Now the Coyotes are on a 3-game losing streak, 3-6 straight up in their last 9. Arizona ranks dead last in offensive shots on goal, and they also find themselves averaging just 2.3 goals per contest. Meanwhile, defensively, Antti Ranta comes into this game with a .336 goals against average through 7 starts. Arizona is taking on a Minnesota squad who won their last 4 straight and currently has a win percentage of .750 on their home ice. The Wild's in the top 10 in defensive shots on goal, and they allow just 2.2 goals per contest at home. Kaapo Kähkönen's got 11 wins through 16 starts, 219 goals against average, .922 save percentage. And when it comes to the number in this one, Minnesota's last 4 straight all stayed under the posted total. Well, they all stayed under the total of 5.5 goals. Meanwhile, Arizona's last 4 straight all stayed under the 5.5 themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Minnesota Wild minus 1.5 and the under 5.5 goals. Next contest, Lightning Stars, 8:30 p.m. Eastern start. The Tampa Bay Lightning are minus 150 on the road, numbers 5.5 juice to the under. Andrei Vasilevsky back in net for the Lightning. Jake Oettinger for the Stars. Now Dallas has dropped 7 out of their last 10. And they only picked up the W in just 9 of 24 contests overall for this season. Dallas ranks in the bottom 10 in offensive shots on goal. And they've cashed in on the puck line in just 5 of 14 home games. They're taking on a Tampa Bay squad who leads the NHL in scoring. They're also in the top 5 in offensive shots on goal on the road. Steven Stamkos has 13 goals thus far in the season, 26 total points, and a +7 when he's on a shift. Meanwhile, Andre Palat has 11 goals on the season himself, 15 assists, 26 total points for Palat. Total-wise, Tampa Bay 60% to the over on the road. Dallas is 8-6 to the over at the American Airlines Center. American Airlines Arena, I believe it is. But anyway, I'm going to lead toward the Tampa Bay Lightning minus $1.50 and the over 5.5. With that, guys, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup of the show. Ducks, Avalanche, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The Avalanche are the $3 favorite. Totals 5.5. Hunter Miska for the Avs. John Gibson for the Ducks. Gibson's won just 6 of 21 starts this season. 311 goals against average. 894 save percentage. The Ducks have dropped 8 out of their last 10 contests, and they rank in the bottom 10 in goals allowed. Now, equally as bad, the Ducks are scoring just 2.1 goals per contest on the offensive end of the ice as well. They're taking on a Colorado team who won their last 3 straight, and they lead the NHL in defensive shots on goal. The Avalanche also allows just 2.2 goals per contest on their home ice, so don't look for the 25-year-old Miska to be tested all too much here tonight if things go according to plan. Now, total-wise, Colorado's 10-4 to the under at the Ball Arena, 17-9 to the under for the entire season. Meanwhile, the Ducks are 7-5 to the under when they travel themselves, bottom 3 in the league in scoring on average per contest. I'm going to lean toward the Colorado Avalanche minus 1.5 and the under 5.5 in a very tight window. And with that, guys, we are going to dive into our quick pick recap. Once again, powered to you by my Patreon website, where we are 7-1 in my last 8 extra daily picks on that Patreon page. We're also 19-2 in our last 21 extra daily picks in that very same tier membership. I like the Penguins minus $1.20 under 5.5. Buffalo plus 1.5 over 5.5 goals. Washington minus 105 over 5.5. Carolina minus 1.5 over 5.5 goals. Minnesota minus 1.5 under 5.5. Tampa Bay minus $1.50 over 5.5 goals. And before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button if you liked today's video. Also, please feel free to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I'm going to lean toward the Colorado Avalanche minus 1.5. No, is it minus 1.5 or minus 150? I'm going to lean toward the Colorado Avalanche minus 1.5. That's right. And the under 5.5 goals. One final reminder here, guys. All my content on my YouTube channel is for entertainment purposes only. I don't make any guarantees of any kind. Kind of like an auction. I don't make any guarantees of any kind. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my Patreon website. If you guys end up, deciding to get a package here today, just keep in mind, we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.